Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think. Now let's get into today's video. Hi guys, thanks for joining me here on another episode of Crossing the Line. Today we're going to take a look at the January 6th footage that Tucker Carlson has released and the backlash he's copping from it right now. They have gone for the throat, they've gone after him viciously and quickly for releasing this footage that everyone was begging for and hoping for to come out of the January 6th Capitol riot. Now, the footage shows that the QAnon shaman, for one, has pretty much been vindicated, showing that he was escorted around the Capitol by police, let into certain rooms by police, and no one tried to arrest him the entire time. He was peaceful. He even prayed with the police officers and said, "Thank you for letting us into the Capitol building." Now, why would any of the police officers let them in? I wonder. You've got FBI informants working in there, dragging people into the building, helping people get in. Anyone ever know what happened with Ray Epps? Will we ever find out? But Tucker has been attacked viciously over these videos of January 6th, and he's reporting on it. And he's kind of gone radio silent over the last couple of days, having really copped it from everyone in the media, and even the Democrats were attacking him over it just for pointing out the truth and pointing out the hypocrisy of the whole situation. But we'll get into this story here from news.com.au. January 6 footage shows Capitol cops escorting QAnon shaman to the Senate floor. Newly reveals footage from January 6, 2021 shows two Capitol police officers escorting Jacob Chansley, that's the QAnon shaman, who has come to symbolize the riot through the halls of the Capitol and to the very door of the US Senate. The footage aired on Tucker Carlson's Fox News show Monday night shows the officers closely following Chansley as he wandered the corridors of the Capitol, bare-chested and wearing face paint with a Luxon fur hat and Viking horns. I mean, how do you go to a riot? If I was going to a riot, I'd probably wear the same thing, or a protest or anything like that. I mean, besides the face paint, the whole aesthetic looks fantastic. I mean, if you're going to be a shaman, at least portray that in what you're wearing. And this guy does it really, really well. Virtually every moment of his time inside the Capitol was caught on tape, says Carlson, who was granted exclusive access by Speaker Kevin McCarthy to 40,000 hours of the surveillance footage from that day inside the Capitol and around the Capitol, which has been seen before by the has never been seen before by the public. The tape showed Capitol Police never stopped Jacob Chansley. They helped him. They acted as his tour guides. At one point, the officer was seen walking Chansley past 7 other police officers milling around outside the Senate chamber who barely give him a second look. Then they even escort him to various entrances of the chamber, which appeared to be locked. Eventually, they help him to a door and open a door, and he enters the chamber. Chansley, a 33-year-old naval veteran from Arizona, has been jailed for almost 4 years for obstructing an official proceeding. You see some of the photos there. If that's not enough police officers to arrest someone, I don't know how many you're going to need. That's ridiculous. You can see him escorting him around there. We'll watch some of the footage after this. In a jailhouse interview played by Carlson, says that one of the very serious regret that I have is believing that when we were waved in by police officers that it was acceptable. In a statement, the Capitol Police suggests that one of the officers with Chansley was trying to de-escalate the situation because he was outnumbered. But that does not explain why Chansley, who was unarmed, was able to walk past 7 more police officers without being apprehended. Not one of them even tried to slow him down, said Carlson. He understood that the Capitol Police were his allies. If he was in the act of committing such a grave crime, why did the officers standing right next to him place him under arrest? And yet in the narrative formed on that day by the Democrats and much of the media, Jacob Chansley became the face of January 6, a dangerous conspiracy theorist dressed in an outlandish costume who led the violent insurrection to overthrow America's democracy, says Carlson. McCarthy, who has been criticised for releasing the footage of Carlson, who plans to air 5 stories based on the footage over 2 nights, which he says demolishes the Democratic narrative of January 6th, as well as Chansley's story about Carlson will air the footage, and he says debunked the claim that the Capitol Police officer Brian Sicknick, who was apparently murdered by rioters. Other accusations against Republicans were promoted with a heavily partisan January 6th committee are shown in a strikingly different light with the footage to be aired by Carlson, including viral video of Senator Josh Hawley running away from rioters on the day, which appears to have been taken out of context. Other accusations against Republicans which were promoted heavily by partisan January 6th committee are shown strikingly different light footage to be aired. Claims of the Congressman Brian Loudermilk and of Georgia guided insurrectionists around the Capitol to help them dispute the Senate proceedings. Contrast with the footage of him showing constitutes around the floor around the next door Rayburn building in the previous evening. Taken as a whole, the video record does not support the claim that January 6th was an insurrection, says Carlson. In fact, it demolishes the claim, and that is exactly why the Democratic Party and its allies in the media stopped you from seeing it. By controlling the images you're allowed to view from January 6th, they controlled how the public understood that day. They could lie about what happened and they would never know the difference. Those lies had a purpose. They created a pretext for a federal crackdown on opponents of the Uniparty in Washington. Democratic politicians such as Rep. Jamie Raskin have warned that Carlson poses a serious security risk and have accused Fox News hosts of being pro-Putin, pro-Orban, pro-autocrat and propagandist. There's thousands of hours of footage that are out there already, Raskin told MSNBC, but the reason all of it wasn't released is precisely because it lays out floor design, it lays out evacuation routes, it lays out where the vice president went, it lays out where the senior members of Congress were evacuated to, and so on. Carlson's team said this footage has been vetted by constitutional authorities to ensure it does not pose any security risk. The further point of the January 6th committee aired the footage of the evacuation routes of VP Mike Pence and Hawley. They have failed to stop the release of the footage last week. Rep. Adam Schiff criticised Carlson in a tweet saying, a weak man. Ooh, big strong words from Adam Schiff there. Now, we'll take a look at the some of the footage that Tucker's released and some of the story. I suggest you go out there, watch it on YouTube at least. Wrap your head around it a little bit. It kind of points out that it was not what the media made it out to be. And I don't know about you, but we already kind of had that idea anyway. They lie about everything else. Why wouldn't they lie about this January 6th? So we'll take a quick look at this short video here, and I suggest you guys go and watch the whole thing on Tucker Carlson on Fox News.
Conspiracy theorist dressed in outlandish costume who led the violent insurrection to overthrow American democracy. For these crimes, Chansley was sentenced to nearly 4 years in prison, far more time than many violent criminals now receive. What did Jacob Chansley do to receive this punishment? To this day, there is dispute over how Chansley got into the Capitol building. But according to our review of the internal surveillance video, it is very clear what happened once he got inside. Virtually every moment of his time inside the Capitol was caught on tape. The tapes show that Capitol Police never stopped Jacob Chansley. They helped him. They acted as his tour guides. Here's video of Chansley in the Senate chamber. Capitol Police officers take him to multiple entrances and even try to open locked doors for him. We counted at least 9 officers who were within touching distance of unarmed Jacob Chansley. Not one of them even tried to slow him down. Chansley understood that Capitol Police were his allies. Video shows him giving thanks for them in a prayer on the floor of the Senate. Watch.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving the inspiration needed to these police officers to allow us into this building.
Contrast the reality of what Jacob Chansley did in the Capitol building on January 6th.
So you can see from that footage there that it's pretty damning to the media that they did blow this out of proportion and lie about this poor dude and exactly what happened on that day. Now, where do you guys think this is going to go? Do you think it's going to be a bit of a nothing burger? Nothing's going to come of it like everything else seems to happen, like the Epstein client list and all that. Nothing ever really seems to come of it. Anytime we get a win, we always get nothing happens. It doesn't go anywhere. So is Tucker going to keep releasing all this footage? Is it going to vindicate a lot of the other people that are still stuck in prison to this day for 4 years? For not doing anything besides walking around a public building where they were ushered into by police. I mean, if you're rioting, smashing up the building and protesting and things like that, doing illegal activities, hurting people, whatever, yeah, you should have been arrested and charged for those things, but you can't be labelled a insurrectionist just because you walk around a building where police literally show you around the building and tell you that you're allowed to come in here. I don't see how that's going to work, how that's going to fly in court if this goes to court, if his lawyers get a hold of it and actually get him out, hopefully. But yeah, where do you guys think this is going to go? What do you guys think's going to happen with this? I think they're just going to attack Tucker Carlson and leave him in a bloodied heap on the ground, basically, if they don't even just outright kill him. So I'm not surprised that any of this is true, but I'm surprised it's come out. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in another video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.